That's all right. That's all right. I need a spoon. I didn't think about this. Yeah. I was like, that's so easy. In my head, I'm like, got it. No problem. And then I made the smallest little hexagon possible. All right, let's do this again. Hi, my name is Savannah, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make some really cool latte art. Let's get started. We're going to start by pulling a shot. You don't have to necessarily, but I do like to pull my shot directly into the vessel I will be working with. It just helps prevent a little extra breakage of the crema. While that shot's pulling, we're going to go ahead and get started on steaming our milk. We're going to orient the cup. Usually I use a cup with a handle, so I will face that in any direction that I like to serve the drink. But because we're using this special cup with this little face, I am going to go ahead and face that towards me. As I draw the design, it'll be centered in the cup, so when you present it to whoever you're serving it to, it'll be centered perfectly with that little face. So we're going to start by making just a canvas by filling our cup up all of the way. It's okay when you first pour your milk in if you get a little bit of foam in there, because you can just sink it as you fill it up. And we're going to start by just dipping the tool into the foam and coating the tool just like that. I am not a perfect artist, so I have a reference photo, and feel free to use one anytime you make latte art. Today I am making a D20 die, which is honestly a little intimidating. I thought it was going to be a little easy, but it is a lot of straight lines, which is not necessarily the easiest to do because milk is very viscous. But I think we can do it.
If the folks at home don't have an etching tool, what can they use?
You can use a toothpick. You can use the end of a thermometer. Pretty much anything that's pointy. If I've even gone as far as to use the handles of demi-tasse spoons, if they're like thin enough, you know. But I did order this very special tool because I can. All right, so I started with a hexagon right in the center of the cup. We're going to go in. We want to start with as basic of shapes as possible. And I do get a little shaky, which you may notice with my hand, so I tend to rest the edge of my hand on the handle of the pitcher. You may not necessarily have to do that, but for me it helps. The important thing is to never rest your hand on the edge of the cup.
Can you explain why you sink the tool?
Yeah, so because the foam is very viscous, we want to get the foam to sit on the surface of the milk, or the crema, I'm sorry. And to do that, you kind of have to drag the tool and sink it down. If I were to just drag across, you're not going to be getting any of the foam on the edge of the tool up here. You're just going to get that little bit of foam on the end and then just drag crema through it. Sometimes it takes multiple tries to get a design down. And usually with pieces like this that are very angular, it takes several attempts. But don't be afraid to go back and clean your lines up as you need to. So you'll see as I'm making these lines, I am also going back in and kind of pulling them back down into the corners to help pull and make those lines a little smoother. Ideally, you want to do this as quickly as possible because you'll notice that the foam kind of dissipates as you work. But usually in complex designs like this is not necessarily something that I'm serving. to anyone other than myself.
It's awesome.
Thanks. With this particular design, I do like to incorporate a little bit of free pour. We're going to go ahead and spoon some foam on. You don't want too much at a time, or else it makes it a little difficult to control. And there are plenty of ways to make dragons in particular. Some people like to incorporate free pouring and pour the entire dragon's body as a rosetta. But I prefer to kind of draw in the dragon myself. So you'll see me moving through, kind of manipulating the foam to be the shape that I want it to be. I'm going to grab a little more foam here. When I do pull crema to draw with on the cup itself, I like to pull it from the edge of the cup so that you don't get these weird, awkward kind of stab lines throughout the top of the drink. All right. There you go.
Nicely done.
Thank you. We're going to start by orienting our cup. I'm going to go ahead and turn the face to where it faces me so that as I create this design, we know it will be lined up perfectly with that face. I'm going to be making the Many Worlds Tavern cat. So I'm going to start by spooning a bunch of foam into the middle of my cup. And I'm going to try to make it as rectangular as possible, but it's okay if it's not quite there. I'm going to pull a little bit of foam up on the edges to start the ears, and I'm going to come back in and shape them. I'm going to pull through and kind of give this little cat a little more shape. The tail is going to be a little tricky because it's got a little bit of a curve. It's okay to make mistakes because it's usually pretty easy to patch. And there you go.